Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camel Call live from the county seat in downtown Lillington. I'm Lendl Suggs, and I'm glad to be here with you. And I think we have assembled tonight the fastest group of people I know in my entire life. I would bet that if I were to put a mixed 4x1 together, this would be my crew, probably. This is probably the fastest 4 people that I know. And we're going to start with Dominique Alexander. Dom, how are you? So you just got out of practice,
yes.
I'm sure. Long, grueling day, and the weather is starting to heat up, so that's
It was really cold today, actually, so it wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Take me back to high school and tell me how you got here. Now, I heard you were the man in high school. That's what your bio say. That's what your bio say. Tell me how you got from there to here.
In high school, you know, I had literally just started running track, so I've started off as a jumper, high jump, long jump, and occasionally running the 100. And then my coach then just told me, you know, we're just gonna stop worrying about jumping and just get to running. So folks started focusing on the 1, 2, and more likely 4 and 4x4. But then I was only a freshman, like into my freshman year. I told them I wanted to try hurdles. And all through that time, I kind of just did hurdles, did the 1, did the 2, the 4, 400 hurdles. Like, it was just nothing I didn't really do. And then as time went on, I just got better and learned more. And then by the time my senior year rolled around was my year of, like, a lot of things starting to click for me. And in the midst of all of that happening, you know, COVID hit. And so it's like I had a moment of, like, I wish I kind of would have had my year, because I've still have been curious of where I could have went. But now getting here, it's like I've still learned to, I'm kind of behind on things because of that senior year missing. But other than that, I feel like my growth here has always just, you know, been better and better every year.
I would say that might be the case. All-America honorable mention last year.
Yes.
4x1. 4x1.
Yeah.
4x1. How was that trip to Austin, Texas?
It was actually a pretty cool trip, I can't lie. First time going to nationals for a college event. Every year, I've been close to, you know, qualifying and going, but that was the year that I actually just said it's a solidified year that I'll go, and I really enjoyed the trip.
So take me through the process, because not a lot of people know the process for outdoor to get to nationals. Where do you start, and how do you get there?
It all starts in the beginning of your spring season, honestly. You're just trying to stay within the perimeters of 48 people out of the nation to go to your region. Let's not say the nation, your region. You want to stay out of 48 people in your region for your event in order to go. You get there, and then it's when you go to regionals, it's basically nationals broken down into 4 sections.
Yeah.
You got your semifinals, then you got your you got your prelims, then you got your semifinals, then you got your quarterfinals, then you have your finals. So it's like the first 2 are at regionals, and then as you go on, it's like that's when you start to transition into nationals. But for a relay event, it's only 24 teams that would go to regionals, and then it breaks down to 12. So you only end up running it twice, honestly, compared to if it was an individual event, you would run it 4 times.
So it's a 4x1. So that means that there's 4 other people involved going to do this. So this is a team effort. This is not just you by yourself.
Right. Yeah. So the team chemistry has to be there in order for people to advance on to that next thing, which is the hardest part, is because those handouts, if you don't get them off correctly, like as soon as you mess up that one time, everybody else will already be gone, and you're playing catch up. So it's a very important team aspect to have when it comes to a 4x1.
So why were you able to do it last year with the group of guys you ran with?
More talent, the will to want to be better. It's always been there. And then when it came to down to when it was time to show up, we actually showed up when we needed to, even if we weren't at our best. There was still a lot of things to figuring out, because we had to transition from one athlete to another as time went on due to injury. But as things went on, we still found a way to make it good and make it work to get to nationals, and still dip into 38 seconds. And you know, we still messed up a lot, but we still got faster.
Now, Jamel's going to come after you, and he's going to have his own version of this same story because he was on that team with you.
Right.
Out of you two, we're gonna start with you two. Out of you
Okay.
two, who do you think is the fastest?
I'm sorry. I gotta say myself. I gotta say myself. I mean, Mel has always been there. He's always been right behind me, of course. But I feel like he has his strong event. I have my strong event. We kind of just right now meeting in the middle for the 200. I feel like there's days where he'll take it. There's days where I'll take it. It's always a constant battle. But as of right now, it's me. But hopefully he'll have that moment of like, I can't let him beat me again. He'll just whoop me because he'll be running the 400 so strong.
So now you two are representing the mid-side and obviously for the sprints.
Right.
Would you say the same thing with everyone included on the team?
I feel like this year it will be kind of hard to dictate because, again, like every year we're learning something new. And then this is the year that like this talent is starting to actually show and it's starting to actually be put into the work. So therefore, I just feel like this year is just going to be a year that everybody's just going to start showing up. And it's like, you know, they've always been there, but it's like they're going to start actually showing like who they were rather than it just being me and Mel. So like they're going to actually start putting their names out there and showing like who Campbell are as who they are as people and going to trials and stuff like that. So it's going to be a real sketchy year.
Yeah, it is, and I would say that watching from afar.
Right.
Speaking of this year, you're in the CAA and you went indoor. Now, obviously, coming from the Big South, you've spent a lot of time there. Right. You're not going to Virginia Tech for an indoor meet. You went all the way to New York for an indoor meet. How was that experience and how was that competition?
It was a very different atmosphere. Going to New York, crazy thing is, in high school, I've qualified for nationals a lot, but then ended up not going. So going to run at the Armory for the first time is like, it was a very new experience for me. I enjoyed being there, but you know, for some people it was great, some people it was, you know, a little mid, and then some people it was bad. But it was an experience. That's kind of like my thing towards it. But I just like being in the CAA, and the way we used to do in the Big South is like the way we went out. I kind of just believe like, for my mindset just kind of switched onto a thing of like, it just can't happen again. That's just what's in my head.
Why do you say that? A lot of people don't know why you say that. I probably know, but I don't. Why do you say that?
For me, it's just, I know me personally is just like, I know I'm better than what I've presented, if that makes sense. And I know our team is a lot better than what we presented, but as Virgil Givens would say, it's always the mental aspect.
Right.
I don't believe it's completely the mental aspect. I believe there's some things that we just have to work on outside of the track and do for ourselves. But when it comes down to it, it's like I just believe that we are so much stronger as a team and we could do a lot more. Yeah. And me personally, it's just like I don't want to be that person that every year I'm always close to making it to something and I don't make it. This is just the year that I have to make it happen, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's senior year. What are your dreams, your aspirations, and your goal by the time you run your last race?
Man, this is Olympic year, so
yeah,
that's the biggest thing on my mind. I'm not even worrying about nationals and regionals and conference. Like, I'm just thinking about being able to go to trials. Like, even if I don't even make it to nationals, I'm not mad because I made it. I made the time in order to go to trials and run and represent the USA team. So that's my biggest thing right now.
And what would that mean to you to go to trials?
I did what many people said I couldn't. Like, it's just a lot of people would believe, like, you know, you're working so hard, like you're so focused on this one thing. Now, what if you don't make it? And it's like, I'm not going to allow myself to believe, what if I don't? Because I'm going to make myself make it. Like, I just believe that there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to make it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dom, for the time. Next up is Jamel Miller. Don't change it. It is Camel Call Live right here at the county seat. We're back live here in the county seat. Jamel Miller, Lendl Suggs. Now, you've got a twin brother.
Yeah.
That's what's different about you than everyone else. What is it like running with your twin brother?
I think it's like every day is like constant like competition between me and my brother. We keep going at it. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, you gotta go faster. You gotta try and beat me back and forth. We just keep going at it back and forth at practice. It's fun, and I like it. Like, he's fast as well, so that pushed me harder in practice to run faster.
and you were with Dom that went to nationals.
Yeah.
That was in Texas. What was that like for you?
Like, it was a great experience for me. It's my first time on the national stage running, so I think overall it was a great experience, and I look forward to going back. But I try to make it for an individual event, but
Yeah.
it was a nice experience.
So take me back to Arizona, because you started running in community college.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like over there on the West Coast?
So I started off track actually back in my senior year in high school. I didn't start taking track serious until like my senior year. So it was like I didn't know if I really want to do track. But then I transferred to I went to a community college, and this coach like, hey, I think you're fast. I was like, I don't know if I want to do track. But
Keep on.
you continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I want to do track. I like soccer, but yeah, it was like, it was all right. I wasn't the fastest in community college. Personal best was like 21.4, 50 point in the 400. So it was pretty slow. So it wasn't like anything that's like mind blowing. So it was a great experience still.
Yeah, you got to give yourself some credit. You
Yeah,
ran
it was like-
48.04.
I
That's
mean,
what they say.
That's what they say, but it wasn't that fast.
So you said soccer.
Yeah.
Is that your first love? Is
Yeah.
that what you really wanted to do?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. So what's your favorite team?
Liverpool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why Liverpool? Out of all teams in the world, why Liverpool?
because they got the best. It's just the best team in England. Yeah, it's just the best team. Yeah.
So you're a Premier League guy.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
you.
Premier League guy,
Okay. So you run and then you transfer, and you transfer with your brother.
Yeah, I transferred with my brother.
So
to Campbell.
what was that like? Was there any recruitment, or you went in the portal? And
So what really happened was I got a call from Virgil Givens, Coach Givens, and he was like, hey, I saw your times, and I think I want to get you in, but it wouldn't be a full scholarship. I was like, all right, I'll come in and work and see if I can get a full scholarship. But then my brother, he didn't get any offers because he wasn't running any time. He wasn't running anything. Like, he wasn't running fast. So I talked to Coach. I was like, hey, Coach, I got a brother and you want to come in as well. Coach was like, all right, he can come in, but he's going to be a walk-on in the team. And you guys going to have to, like, show me that you want a full scholarship. So it was difficult coming in knowing that we ain't on a scholarship. We got to pay so much money and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard. We have to work really hard just to get a full scholarship.
And what was that like when you achieved your goal, or that goal right there?
When I was over the moon. My mom she was happy as that. She was like, "There's no way I'm gonna pay for you guys like to go to Campbell because it's really expensive." She was like, "It's two of you guys, so it was great."
What was that phone call like when you call her and you tell her, you don't have to pay anything anymore? It's all taken care of.
She was happy. She was the happiest. Yeah, she was really happy.
And so we work into the end of last year, coming out of the Big South. Y'all cleaned up all the medals, as I say, obviously in the Big South. Then you head to regionals and you compete. And you had 2 or 3 events that you're competing in Florida.
Yeah, I competed in the 200 and the 4x1 in Florida for the regionals.
Yeah, and so obviously you didn't make it for the 200, but the 4x1, I think that was probably, you guys, I can't remember. Was it the top, was it 2? Was it second?
I think we finished second.
Second, right?
Yeah.
Second?
Yeah.
It was a second place finish. What was that like? Because you're running against some of the fastest teams. We're talking about big school names that everybody would know. What were you feeling on the track down in Florida?
So actually I was really nervous because, as I said, it's my first time on the big stage running. So my coach usually talks to me and be like, hey, you got to calm down, just be yourself and compete. So I was really nervous, but I know we got like a great team. We could qualify, so I was just go out there and just run my best.
Yeah. And then we get on a plane and you see all the pageantry, the grandeur down in Texas. Everybody is everywhere. People are everywhere. Everything is just completely different. And that's a big stage too. What were your nerves like seeing all of that?
So actually, I'm gonna give you a funny story because when we were supposed to run the 4x1 in Texas National, so I came out on the track, tried to set my marker up and everything. So I kind of messed up because I was like, I don't know what to do. I was so like nervous.
Yeah.
So I started walking the opposite direction where I should set my marker up, and coach was like, no, you got to do this way. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was kind of nervous my first time. So, yeah.
So what leg are you?
I'm the third leg.
The third leg. So who you get the baton from?
I get a baton from Andre Bent.
Okay, so from last year you got it from Bent, and then you hand it off to Dom, and he's the anchor. He anchors it all the way through. Now he said that he was faster than you. I know you're not gonna take that lightly when you come up here.
Actually, I don't know. Sometimes I beat him, sometimes he beat me. Last year I think I beat him twice in the 200. So it's ups and downs. Sometimes if I'm not running fast enough, Dom's going to take it. And just got to be on your game every time I race Dom. You just got to be on your A game because he's going to run fast.
So I don't have a twin, but I've got 6 brothers. So I know what it's like to have a sibling rivalry. So what is it like to compete with your brother day in and day out?
As I said, it's fun. My brother, he pushed me to run faster. I push him to go faster. Like, we keep pushing each other to achieve our goals this season because, as you see, my brother, he got the 60-meter school record last year. Yeah. So he's getting better every day. I'm just trying to get better as well. So it's fun having a twin on the same team as well. So it's great.
So you being international, it's an Olympic year. Last year, you ran in the trials, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was at the trials.
Yeah, you ran in the trials last year. So what was that like?
Last year, I think I wasn't ready for the trials last year. To be honest, like, I don't think mentally I was ready for the trials because my first time, I was like, I wanted to see like after this year how I do because I know I got the fastest time last year in the whole country in Jamaica. Yeah. So it was kind of like I don't know if I really want to go to the trials, but then I take a chance. I went. I didn't do my best. Kind of hurt myself in the prelims. I finished 3rd. I didn't qualify, so it was a great experience. I'm looking forward to going back because I'm definitely going back this year. See if I can make the team because it's an Olympic year, as you said. So I got to show it this year. Yeah.
Now, Jamaica has some of the fastest people ever to ever exist.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch any of that while you were growing up, or what was that? What was that like?
As I said, growing up, I didn't like track.
At all?
At all. It was soccer, so I didn't see any of those guys compete. Usain Bolt, Yohan Blake, any of those guys. Always wanted to play soccer, as I said.
So who did you grow up wanting to be like? That's the real question. Who did you grow up? Who was your idol growing up, your soccer idol?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Really? You're a Ronaldo guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I know your answer in the Ronaldo-Messi debate.
It's going to be Ronaldo.
It's going to be Ronaldo?
Yeah,
Why?
100%.
Why? Why
because
Ronaldo?
Ronaldo got Messi, he got a natural talent like a soccer player. Ronaldo, like the way he achieved, the way he, like where he's at right now in his career, he got to work hard. So I think I got to give it to Ronaldo because he achieved everything in football. He scored the most goals. He won the most Champions League as well. So I think I got to give it to Ronaldo. He's an all-time goal scorer.
You know what everybody's going to say? You know what the argument is? He don't got a World Cup.
Yeah, I know. They're going to say that, but...
Especially with Messi just getting the World Cup.
But Ronaldo, he won the Euros, so...
Yeah,
I guess that's balanced.
So were you a fan of Messi coming to Miami? Did you hear about that, or you didn't care at all? You're a Ronaldo guy. It wasn't big enough for you.
No, I didn't care that much. Like, it was all right.
So do you want to pursue soccer again at any point?
No, I think it's track, definitely. No.
Yeah.
Like,
so now you're 100% locked in.
Yeah, 100% locked in now in track and field. I think it's definitely.
And why is that?
Because I see the potential. Like, I see how fast. I know I haven't hit my peak yet. Like,
right.
I just started like running fast, so I know I got a lot more to give in the sport. So definitely, I think I'm gonna take this serious going forward.
Okay.
After college.
Yeah. And you were in the Big South last year. And obviously, everybody knows it was really a 2-team league. It was High Point, then it was Campbell in the Big South. Now you head over to the CAA, and things are a little bit different. Yeah. How was it? Have you ever been to New York before?
Yeah, I've been to New York.
You've been,
a couple times before.
Okay, good. So going to New York, how was that to go run in the Armory?
It was a great experience. I wasn't a big fan of the track. Like,
why is that?
Because the banks, it was like the lanes were too tight on the banks, so I wasn't like a big fan of the track. But it was a great experience. I didn't do my best, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Like I tried to defend my 400-meter title. I lost. I finished 3rd, but it is what it is. I just got to work harder, come into outdoors, see if I can do better.
So outdoors, things are different in outdoors than indoor, obviously. Yeah. So now you head into outdoors. What is your aspiration for outdoors? Not obviously before we get to the Olympics, we can tackle that in a second. But What is your aspirations in the conference and regional level, national level?
I think going into outdoors, my goals this year is like I'm trying to run 19 in the 200. I'm trying to run 19 and 44 in the 400. So
Yeah.
I'm really trying to take this year like very serious, going into outdoors, work hard as I can, and see if I can hit those goals.
Yeah. And you'll be on a lot of big stages. So what is your plan to overcome that nervousness that you have? Because you're doing pretty good right now. You don't seem too nervous now.
I think I just got to be like within myself. Like every time I get nervous at a track meet or whatever, I just got to like calm myself down and just tell myself I can do this. Like it's just always like I got this fear. I don't know why. But every time I'm supposed to I just got this thing when I'm competing. Like I'm always nervous. So I just got to tell myself, hey, you got to calm down and just run within yourself and be yourself.
What would it mean to represent your country on the biggest stage ever, the Olympics?
I think it will mean the world to me, like especially my mom, because she's a big fan of track and field. So it will mean the world to me to represent Jamaica at the Olympics this summer. So I definitely think I can make the team this year.
Think so?
Yeah, I definitely think I can make the team.
For sure, I agree. Yeah. I agree with you. That's Jamel Miller, Jayden Ramsey up next here live in the county seat. So this is part 3. I'm here with Jayden Ramsey. Now you have a lot of accomplishments, you know, sophomore class president, a lot of things. We're going to get there in a minute. Tell me, start me back in high school. Did you run track in high school? When did you start? No, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. I seen the highlights.
Yeah.
That's what you know. I seen the times, too. I was there at some of the meets. That's what you know.
They weren't that good. You know?
They weren't that good, but I mean, you were still fast.
Yeah, I wasn't really confident in myself, like in high school. Like, I knew I was fast, but it wasn't like, oh, I can win nationals fast. Like, I feel like I could make it, but I would never get to that point where I could win. But
Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know. But when I came to college, I started like getting stronger. I started taking like protein and stuff. And then with the workouts that Givens was giving me, my coach, I just felt a lot more confident in myself. And then I found people here who made me more confident. And that's when times were just dropping consistently. So
it matters what you do and what you put in your body, basically.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that. Last year, you had an outstanding year, I would say. I think, you know, personal opinion aside, I think you were cheated, you know, in the outdoor season. And we can talk about that in a minute. But I think you had an amazing year last year to watch the times and watch them fall and watch you progress. What was it like as a freshman to come in and make an impact off the gate?
Well, at first, my indoor season, it really wasn't that great. I really wasn't practicing. I was hurt, and then it was just a lot going on. But I was able to come to the indoor meet, and then I finished 5th at PB. And then outdoor, I was like, I do not want to be, like, I want to win.
Right.
And I knew I could win. So I started, like, being more intentional with what I did in practice and being more intentional with what I did outside of practice. And it just went from there. So
we get to outdoor, and we get to the Big South Conference meet. What was that like to run at your first collegiate conference meet outdoors?
It was fun. Like, the energy last year at both conferences, it was really, really fun. Like, you could just feel all the team together and everybody just rooting for each other. And I just got hyped up, like, knowing my team was, like, right there in the corner. So, yeah.
Your family was there to support you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
My little sister was right there. Like, we got us a track baby now. Every time we're watching a track meet and she hears the gun go off, she's running around saying, go, go, go. Singing.
Love that. I love that. The guy captured that moment.
Yeah,
too.
you did.
That was my
favorite.
You got
a great photo.
That was probably my favorite picture that I've ever taken. So you do that, and then you don't make it to nationals, you don't make it to regionals. So now you come into this year. What is it like as you're sitting around August and fall workouts are going? What is going through your mind at this point?
This hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts badly. And then, like, over the summer, I'm, like, trying to do my own workouts that he's, like, giving me back at home. And I'm lifting, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be prepared for the fall workouts.
Right. Not even close?
You're never prepared for Givens fall workouts.
So I heard. I heard
Yeah.
it's pretty difficult.
Very intense. But I reminded myself that, like, I had certain times and certain goals that I set for myself that I wanted to make. I didn't meet all of them, but ended up number 22 in the NCAA, which is a really big thing for me and my family. Yeah. And I was like just this off from nationals, so that kind of hurt a little bit. But what goal did you set for yourself that you're the most proud of last year and then now coming into the indoor season? You're talking about after outdoor conference?
After outdoor conference last year, yeah.
I just told myself I wanted to be more intentional and I wanted to be a little bit more intense with my training. And, like, for example, if we do tempo, like, I wouldn't run it like it should be ran. So, but this year I've been running and finishing tempo and all that, so. And
so now you come into this year, was that your first time in New York?
No, I've been to the Army.
Okay.
I competed there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, She's her. My bad. I forgot who I was talking to. My bad. I apologize. So this is, what time was that in the Army that you've been? Third, fourth?
That was only my second time. I was it would have been my third, but then, COVID hit. So
you're a COVID baby too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I overstand.
Yeah.
So you run in the Armory. It's your first CAA meet. Is there any difference for you between the Big South and the CAA?
No.
And tell people why you say that. I know why you say it, but tell other people why you say that.
It was really just like Campbell versus Campbell. Yeah. It really didn't matter where we are because I feel like my team and I, we are so elite and we have put in the training to be elite. So I don't want to be like arrogant or anything, but I really wasn't worried about anybody else because I knew me and my teammates could bring it. So it was just another meet.
Well, y'all definitely brung it. Let's start with the 60. Insanely fast 60.
Thank you.
I mean, that was crazy. I'm sitting there like this. I can't even get the camera together right before I'm like, they're halfway done with this. I need to make sure I capture this moment. What was going through your mind during the finals for the 60, first of all?
For the 60, I just had to remind myself to, I've been through the training to do this. I have it in me. I just need to bring it out now. Now's the time to bring it out and just finish. Speaking
of bring it out and break it out, we're going to come back to the 60, but bring it out in a breakout year. Do you know how many records you set in indoor this year in the conference and the school records? Do you know how many times you set or reset your own record this year? Is that insane? Is that insane to you? Does it catch you by surprise, or this is what I expected? This is what I expected. Yeah.
I came in this year and I already knew that I was gonna break the 60 records.
Yeah, you already knew that. It was just like. It's too low for me. Okay, I got you. I understand.
No, because I wanted to make nationals, and I knew that if I wanted to make nationals, of course that time would have to be broken. So
it wasn't even you weren't even looking at the CAA. It was like, no, I'm looking to Boston. That's what I'm trying to get to. I understand. So you go through all that, and so now you're at the 60, and then you run this crazy time. You blow it out the water, and then you don't realize it at first because everybody's looking at the board like, all right, when's the time going to show up? And then you're just sitting there waiting, and then your reaction to your time, what was that like?
I did not, it really did not feel like I ran 7.2, at all. I was not expecting that. But when I looked and saw the board, I don't know, it was just like a wave of emotions because, I knew my mom was watching the time, and I knew, friends and family at home was watching the time, and it was a really good feeling because it was finally, this is what I've been working for. So
after the 60, what did you run?
The 200.
The 2. So what was the 2 like?
I need to get used to running on a bank track. The 200, it's still a mental thing for me because I'm running coming off the curb, and then I'm okay, I have to conserve. But in outdoor last year, I just ran.
Right.
And I was able to run a good time. So I think it's just still a mental thing when it gets to the 200. But I kept trying to remind myself, girl, you run 6 of these at practice. Yeah. But I was still trying to conserve, so I really wasn't that happy. But it was still a PB for indoor, so I was pretty happy.
So Mel's talked about the banks. Now you just mentioned it. What's so bad about the banks?
I just have to, like, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing the bank and I don't know. I just try to conserve so much and I just need to run. Like, after that, I looked at the race and I was like, I should have just ran, you know. So, yeah.
So now we come into the end of it, and now you going home with all of these medals and everything, and you're clanging around the airport and all this other stuff you're going through. Now that you get back on your flight, are you proud of yourself and what you accomplished in indoor, or it's like I'm laser focused on what's next?
I was proud of myself, but I was like also there still is outdoor. I have regionals to make for outdoor, and then I really want to make it to nationals for outdoor. Because I feel like I really can make it there. The training has been there. Coach has been with me. So I really feel like I can make it there. I just need to put in the work and focus on the little things to get me there.
So outdoor, what event do you want? Not obviously you'll make it in whatever you make it in, but what event do you really want to make it in?
I really, really want to run 22 seconds in the 200 and make it.
The 200 just seems like it's your thing.
I really want to, because last year I ran 23.4.
Right.
And I was not like going that hard in the weight room like I am now. I drink protein shakes now. Like I am locked in.
Oh, you're locked in?
I'm locked in.
You have to be locked in, but you got a lot of other things that you have to worry about as well with SGA.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Last year, you were the freshman class president. Now it's your sophomore year, and I'll say you got reelected because it's the same class of folks.
Yeah.
So you get reelected, but take us to the first one. What was it like your freshman year trying to balance track, school, being a freshman? You got all these things going on that you're trying to worry about. What was it like balancing life?
It got really, really stressful at times. Like, I would sit in my room or, like, I would cry to my mom or my friends. I'd be like, why did I do all of this to myself? Like, if it's not about track, like, my days are so jam-packed. If it's not track, it's SGA.
Right.
And I'm a nerd, so I want to get A's. I love a good GPA. Yeah. So I'm doing my work and all that stuff. It was just a lot. But then I had to remind myself to just take one thing at a time. And this year, I got a little iPad, and I'm better with my time management. iPads, that's a cheat code.
They don't understand.
But I'm better with my time management now, and I'm able to just take things one step at a time instead of just trying to do everything at once. And it's really helped me. So
you're a lot better than me. I was everything my freshman year, and then I realized I need to cut some things off. I still am a workaholic, and so I'm all the time. I'm everywhere all the time, so I understand time management. What tools did you take from last year as everything that you're doing, and then you come into this year? Did you drop anything?
No.
You didn't drop anything at all. So what tools did you take from last year to help you be better this year?
I got a calendar. I put a little calendar on the wall. I have a calendar on my phone. I have reminders for everything that I need to do. As soon as I wake up, I used to like procrastinate and wake up like 15 minutes before I'm supposed to go to class. Now I wake up well before I'm supposed to go to class so I can look at my schedule, see what I have to do today, check my email. I'm just way more productive and organized. So.
Now, how do you keep a social life? That's the real question.
They call me a grandma. If you haven't heard them, they call me a grandma because
Why is that?
I don't go out. I go to sleep early.
I understand.
But I do need to go out a little bit more. But
you do, but you do. I mean, after everything,
the weekends, I'm like, don't ask me to do nothing.
Nothing. I understand. I get it. So you come into this year. Now, what are your dreams and aspirations as we get ready to hit outdoor?
I really want to make it to nationals. Yeah. Before, I didn't think I was the type of athlete who would be able to make it, but I have a lot more confidence in myself. So, yeah.
As a team, how far do you see your teammates going?
Our team is elite this year. Like our girls team, once we get everybody that we need to get back who's injured, our girls team is really gonna like make a mark in the NCAA. We have so many fast and talented girls. Like, I was so excited coming into this year. We lost some girls due to injuries, but we're really gonna make a mark in the NCAA.
Yeah, to get you lack some star power in indoors, and that's okay. You lost a few folks, but coming into outdoors, hopefully everyone's back. Now, here's the real question. We done asked who's the fastest in the men. We done asked, I ain't even gonna ask you who the fastest in the women. I want to know if you think like we had to, obviously everyone, it was gender neutral and everything was the same. Mm-hmm. Who has the overall faster group of people?
The girls.
The girls.
The women's team has the best. Like we're better than the guys.
So it's more. It's faster. It's faster on the women's side than it is on the men's side.
Most definitely, it's not a question.
Why you say that? Because they want to know. I know the boys want to know. Why
we work harder, and like we just push hard. The girls, we really have it. Like our team really has a lot of talent. Like we have talent everywhere. Once we get everybody back, we have like elite talent everywhere. So
every single place,
and we show up when we need to show up. So.
Oh, I think that was shade.
just a little bit.
Just a little bit of shade. Okay, that's cool. She's Jayden Ramsey. Next up, we got Chastity Pickett. That's where we're gonna drop it right there. Right here in Camel Call Live in the county seat. All right, we're back in chat, obviously. The last one, the main event, as you would say. You have a lot going on in your world. A lot of things going. You could say right for you. A lot of people would want them, blessings, but obviously things come with a bigger responsibility. Yeah. For you, things are different. Let's flash back. We're not even going to hit last year yet. Let's go all the way back. Now, we've had this conversation before, but let's go all the way back to high school. Mm-hmm. Multi-sport athlete, so I heard.
Yes.
I might have did a little homework. Multi-sport athlete. You had a lot of things going for you back in high school. What was that like? Start me there.
I was always an active person when it came to athletics. Like, it started with my brother. He used to just throw me out there, or he used to be like, "You're not going. You have for every single shot that you miss, or for every single time you don't catch a ball, like you have to run around. You have to run around the yard like 2-3 times, and like until I get it."
Oh, so your brother is like I am with my brothers.
Yes,
I'm one of those.
He definitely, because he wanted a brother.
I understand.
But he got a sister, so he had to, toughen me up a little bit. It's okay. But doing all of those sports, like, it really just kept me busy, and I feel like it grew my mindset at, like, an early age. Mm-hmm. I started T-ball, cheerleading when I was elementary school. I can talk about that. Then I went from basketball, softball, and I started track my 8th grade year, which I actually didn't really like track at first. But
nobody ever really does it, to be honest. It's okay.
But it was like my 8th grade year. I was all for basketball, and my coach told me that if I didn't run track that year, then he wouldn't let me play basketball, which I knew that was a lie. Because my reasoning for not wanting to do track was because it's hot outside, and I don't want to do all that running and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, by him doing that, like, I still thank him today. Like, he pushed me to a limit that I didn't even think that I can even go that far in. Like, yeah.
I can't tell you how many track runners were originally basketball players, and then they were like, okay, well, since you're not doing nothing in the fall, you got to run cross country. That's how it was for us. So we had to run cross country to play basketball, and then after basketball season, they were like, run track. Really, they just trying to keep you conditioned without having you do any workouts or anything like that. That's really what it was.
Yeah, they all kept me pretty busy, and I love sports. Like, I love being active in sports. I love to compete. Like, I love it all.
And your championship winning didn't start when you got here. It started there in high school?
Yes.
Okay, so you do that, and then you get here. Well, let's talk about how you got here, because a lot of people don't know your origin story. Mm-hmm. How did you get from Georgia to the middle of nowhere, North Carolina?
That's a great question. Well, I got to North Carolina. It was like my senior year of high school, and it was around the time where I had to choose between basketball scholarships or track scholarships. So I was really, really stressed around that time for a while. Mm-hmm. And when the time came, like, everything was going perfectly in track, like state records and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay, I'm in track season. Let me just go ahead and just choose track. But my heart was always still with basketball. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up, going to visits or whatnot, and it was just something about Campbell. I actually came to Campbell for a track camp maybe 2 years prior. Mm-hmm. So I feel like God definitely, like, placed me here, Like, because the way that Givens was able to contact me and make me feel comfortable enough to want him to be my coach, like, it definitely that's what brought me here and wanting to get better at what I was doing.
And it's important, and you can probably speak to this, is what I really want you to speak on, is how important a coach is in track. Because we've seen a lot of people go from smaller schools to bigger schools, but maybe not necessarily to a better coach, and then their performance decreases at the bigger schools with better facilities.
Yes, it's very, very important to have a coach, especially like having a coach that sees more in you than you see in yourself. Like, I have always had coaches who saw more in me, and then like I'll be like, what do you see? Because I'm trying to figure out that too. But then like once like I continue to get pushed and I start to see more of that, and like having a coach who wants that for you, I feel like that's what a lot of athletes should really look for, and not just for them to just get you faster. Like I have a great relationship with my coach. Like I feel like he's an amazing coach, and he got me to where I need to be. So like there's no reason why like any other coach, I feel like right now, like would do the things that Givens has done.
I agree with you there. So now let's get into your track career, right? So we start off a little bit slower than maybe you want to start off, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we start to progress, and then you really, really, really turn it on last year.
Yes.
What was different about last year than the previous 2 or 3 years before that?
Well, I would say that like my mom, she actually had breast cancer. She beat breast cancer, thank God.
Yeah.
I feel like when I found the news out or whatnot, it automatically turned on my mindset to, I have to do this for her. Like my mindset was always like, I need to do this for her, because she was always at my meets, always at my games, like, and she wasn't able to be there because that was also like when COVID was happening or COVID was ending or whatnot. So I really like just dedicated my season to her and just used that to like push myself more into like, because if she's sitting here fighting, I should be able to fight too. So that really, really helped me. And like seeing that, like how she was able to like graduate college as well while still having breast cancer, going through chemo treatments, like it really just showed like how much of a fight that she has in her. Wow. And it really like helped me. Yeah.
So let's slow crawl through the season. So we ain't even gonna talk. Well, we could talk about indoor if you want to. We could talk about indoor if you want to. Okay. I mean, you come home with some hardware just about every meet that I've been to. I'll say that, and I mean like actual MVP. They don't call it MVP, but we know what it really means. Most outstanding MVP on the women's side. You come home with that just about every time. But we go through indoor season. You get to outdoor season. And throughout the outdoor season, it just seems like things were slowly creeping to where they got to by the time we got to conference. What would you say?
Yes, I agree. I definitely had a lot of confidence, and you know the word that coach uses now is the word believe. And if you don't believe in yourself, then like you don't believe that the sky is the limit for you. So I had to continue to believe in, like, I was in competition with myself in the time. Like, I wasn't worried about anybody else or who I was running with or the pros or anything like that. Like, I was focused on, like, my time and what I need to do to get to the next level and to reach the potential that I know that I have.
And so we get to conference, and this is the first time I get to watch you run in person. So it's different. Like, you get to see people run on ESPN Plus. And you're like, okay, yeah, they look fast. But I get to watch you run in person. It's a little bit different. And I don't think that anyone was close to you. This is me humbly speaking for you, so you don't have to say it. I don't see anyone that was close to you in the entire time at the conference meet last year. I mean, not a one event. You're not going to say nothing? I understand. So you do that, and then obviously you qualify for regionals. And so regionals, it seemed like you might have been a little nervous because of the stage that you were on.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. So regionals, I remember the story. My mom, she was driving up or whatnot, and she's a foster parent. I have like 4 foster siblings, so she had to pretty much bring them all up or whatnot. And just before the race or whatnot, I was extremely nervous because like that was like a really big moment for me, and that was where I stopped at the year prior, and like nerves and anxiety just got over me. So I asked the official if I could use their phone to call my mom. I called her, and she came down and calmed me down, and by the time I was on the track, like everything went out the window, and I looked at her, and everything came back as the reason why I was doing this in the first place. And I just gave it all I had. And then finding out that I made it to nationals was the best feeling ever, because you sit here and you put in so much work and you go through all the hard days at practice or whatnot, but like you never during the time you don't really like see like what could possibly be done like in the future or whatnot. So like all the hard work, sweat, tears, like I feel like it definitely paid off. Like I definitely came into this year came into last year wanting more, and I feel like it just carried me on through the season. So
I was new working with the team at the time, and so I watched you run the 400 hurdles, but that wasn't the part that I remember the most. What I remember is in the prelims after the 400 hurdles, there was no life left in chat after the 400 hurdles in the prelims at regionals. I mean, you just were gassed. And then to find out you win in finals, I remember you being so out of breath that you could not convey your excitement. The more excited you got, the more breath it took. Yeah. It just seemed like you were so excited that you couldn't convey what you were saying.
Yes, I was definitely tired. The 400 hurdles is definitely not an easy race. It's a very mental and technical race for sure. And like I was definitely tired or whatnot, and I needed a chance to breathe, and I couldn't breathe because I was like still trying to process the moment or whatnot. And I was like, okay, just forget it. I'm just gonna go ahead and just let it all out.
And so we get to Texas, and then it's day one. The boys run, and then they don't qualify for finals. And now it's you and Dorcas that are left to keep this trip alive. So now it's you two that are left. And so she runs. Did she run first? I think she ran first. Yes. I think her event was like right before yours. So she ran first, and she qualifies for finals. Is there any motivation there at that point that you have to go, okay, now I have to qualify for sure?
Yes, for sure. Like seeing Dory run and the way that she ran, the way that she gave it her all, like I feel like that also helped push me, because it's just like, when you see other people doing good and doing great or whatnot, like you kind of feed off of that energy or whatnot. So it's like, okay, Dorcas, like you really just did that. Like I'm so proud of you. Like now is my turn, so we can as a collective we can just turn Campbell around.
And so you qualify, you get to the final. Now the pressure is really on, because your mom is here, your friends are here, and this is it. This is a big. Dorcas just ran; she got 5th, and so now you're it. Everyone is awake because we're an hour behind in Texas. So everyone back on this side of the country is awake, waiting to watch you run. Yes. Before we even talk about the race, what was it like sitting there? Because all the pageantry has to go. Everyone has to get their name announced and their awards and what they've got and what they garnered. And you're in lane 7 or 8. Yes. And so you're like one of the last ones to go. And you're hearing Michigan, Alabama, LSU, and then it's Campbell.
Oh my gosh. As soon as I heard that and like hearing all the other schools, it's like, wow, like we're a small D1 school, and like listening to them call out all the Power 5 schools and seeing that I am the only one from a small D1 school, like it turned everything on for me, and I wanted it even more, because like a lot of people, they look more at the Power 5 schools and their athletes or whatnot, and automatically like overlook those who are at a smaller D1 schools who don't have it like as many resources as they do. So like a lot of like during the whole entire time, like nobody expected or knew the potential that I had, because they was always overlooking me, because they was always looking at those from a Power 5 school. So as soon as I heard like everybody else school and everything get called on or whatnot, like I immediately prayed and turned into tunnel vision. I just gave it all I had, like literally.
I think I captured that moment. I think it's somewhere on the computer, because I'm sitting there and you're the last one left. I'm sitting there with the camera and I'm going, hold on. You know, I feel like I saw the moment where you just locked in, like it was over at that point. So the gun goes off, and I have to, as the camera person, I have to try to hold the camera steady. Mm-hmm. But I get excited too, especially when I see everyone start to really do well. And so with the 400 hurdles, I really get a time to process what's actually going on. It's not like the 60 where it just comes across and I don't even know what happened until afterwards. I can't tell who won, but I get a time to process. You come out the gate fast.
And the thing about it, I didn't even feel it. Like, all I knew is that I needed to focus on the last part of my race. Like, because when I was training for the 400 hurdles, I was always practicing getting out hard, getting out fast. So when it came to the meet, it was able to like come naturally. And I knew the only thing I really needed to work on at the time was the last stretch of the race. So like, I really didn't feel it, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. And then I guess you could say adrenaline was definitely kicking. You could say anger.
Oh yeah, let us talk about that. So you finish your race, and I see a Chet I've never seen before in my entire life. Yeah, never in my entire life. The first you would have, the way you were talking after the race, you would have thought you were the national champion. The way you were talking after the race, the first words you say is, "I'm from Campbell." Nothing else. Not I'm Chat. Not nothing. Is I go to Campbell. Why was that what you said afterwards?
Because everybody always overlook Campbell, always overlook me, always overlook my teammates, and I just wanted to show, like, we're here too. Yeah. Like, we're just as good as you and even better. Like, we are here, and it's about time for everybody to really start to know our name and recognize who we are and what we're doing. Because going so long with people constantly overlooking you, it builds it builds character for real, because you have no other choice but to just keep pushing and just keep making them like know who you are. And even if of course, like, knowing yourself and whatnot is important, but when you have over 200,000 people just overlooking you, like, it drives you. Like, it really drove me a lot.
After you had calmed down and your adrenaline had wear off and you've seen your time, you get back, you get your trophy, and then everyone that you really admire, the people that you really care about are there. Your mom, your friends are there. What was the moment like after the race when you realized you were first team All-America?
I just cried. I cried and cried and cried. Because like I was saying earlier, like, at that moment, I look back at all the pain and the sweat and tears and everything that I gave into getting to that point. Like, even if it wasn't first or second, like, I did that work to get me there. And it just, like, it was very, very emotional for me. And it really didn't kick in until maybe 2-3 days later, because it was still like, wow, like, did I really just do this? Like, it was unexplainable. Like, so
we got to wrap up. So I got 2 more questions for you. But you just went viral on TikTok for the way that you brought that relay back to life. Now, I never posted the video. I'm going to tell you why I never posted the video. Is because I can't post the video because I kept putting the camera down as I'm watching you eat away at this lead. So I'm sitting here watching you go around this track in the Armory, and the only word is gliding, literally, around this track. What was that like? So you get handed the baton with an extreme deficit. Now, credit to the girls in front of you that really kept it to where it was, but you were handed a pretty big deficit. What was it like to really eat away at that?
As soon as I got the baton, all I knew was just to fight. And I'm not going to lie, it was at one point where I was just like, there's no way I'm going to catch up. But I knew the competitiveness inside of me, and I knew the type of grit that I have in me, and I wanted this for my team. Like, I definitely wanted this for my team, and it was just, I just had to go. I wasn't worried about the pain I was going to feel. I wasn't worried about anything. All I knew was just to go out and try to catch them as fast as I can and as hard as I can. And if I catch them, I catch them. If I don't, I knew that I gave them my all at the end of the day.
So you're getting ready to go back to more than, hopefully, we're praying, you go back to Eugene, Oregon, right, for nationals, but then Olympic trials once again, which you were just at last year, and hopefully you can get to the Olympics. Obviously that is your goals, but what helps you focus on that as we come close to that this year?
I feel like my trust in God, for sure. The training that I'm going to be going through is definitely going to be a lot different. Is more expected of myself from me. It's, how can I put this? It's a work in progress. It's definitely still a work in progress, and I know my goals. And of course, anytime I sit here and go through practice, I just think about the Olympic trials, because I know that I'm capable of being there, and it just helps push me as well.
Last question: how does Chat deal with the pressure?
Oh my gosh, it's definitely. I can say now. I deal with the pressure by not really focusing on anybody else or what anybody else expects of me. I am trying my best to just lock into who I am and what I can do. I pray a lot more. I am definitely in my Bible a lot more, trusting God every step of the way. So I feel like that's another way that I am trying to control the stress, because at times it can get to a point where I do feel a lot of pressure on me, but I know that it's good pressure, and I know that I am able to. I actually feel like I work better under pressure, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things definitely help me with the pressure.
She's Chat. I'm Lendl, and we have had an amazing time here in the county seat. Thank you for sticking with us. This is Camel Call Live right here from the county seat in downtown Lillington.